So let me read out what Elon Musk said. And I think this is in the context of the student protests and some of the reactions to it. So he says, quote, "The axiomatic error undermining much of Western civilization is, quote, weak makes right, unquote. If someone accepts explicitly or implicitly that the oppressed are always the good guys, then the natural conclusion is that the strong are the bad guys," close quote. And then Cliff Asness responds to that, citing something from the Wall Street Journal article he wrote, quote, "Multiple gross failures of the University of Pennsylvania and other schools after October 7th weren't tactical errors or failures of execution. They were an outgrowth of a much broader philosophy that views merit and prosperity as proof of guilt. No society could long survive such a philosophy."
Yes, they've both, Elon Musk and Cliff Asness, have both read Atlas Shrugged, and I think this is something they're taking from Atlas Shrugged, that Atlas really emphasizes that there's something deeply wrong about the whole fundamental moral framework that we're operating with, or increasingly operating with, in the West. And I'm not sure for either of them, they recognize how deep this goes. So to take Elon Musk, it's the weak makes right. And if you put, like, you probably haven't heard that term, that phrase before, weak makes right. But you have heard this: the meek shall inherit the earth. And so when he says it's underpinning much of Western civilization, does he know that this is the essence of the Christian outlook, and which was injected into the lifeblood? It's a poison injected into the lifeblood of Western civilization. That it's the meek, they're entitled to everything. They're the object of all concern, and they will inherit the world, or should. What it really means is they should inherit the world, and maybe in some fantasy afterlife you will, and you can cling to that fantasy. That's the perspective. That it's not a Greek-Roman perspective. It's a Christian perspective that was at war with the Greek-Roman view of morality and of virtue as about strength. But that doesn't mean strength like the muscles. It means the ability to secure, produce, achieve values. And that's what the way Cliff Asness puts it is, I think, right, and it's coming direct from Atlas Shrugged, that it's a broader philosophy that views merit and prosperity as proof of guilt. Ayn Rand's analysis was what happens is you get a morality that views production, the producer, the creator, two of the words she uses in The Fountainhead and Atlas Shrugged. There from The Fountainhead, the creator, the scientist, the musician, the businessman, to take from Atlas Shrugged, who build the world. They're the fountainhead. That's part of what the title of the novel means. They're the fountainhead of human life and human progress. And you got a morality that went to war with these people. That, no, what they're doing is not good. They're evil. They shouldn't be proud of what they do. They should feel sin and guilt for what they're doing. And that, Elon Musk puts it, he says it's undermining much of Western civilization. What one has to understand about Western civilization is it's a conflict between the Greek-Roman ideas that are the best of Western civilization and Christian ideas that are the worst of Western civilization. And the more the Christian ideas and ideals dominate, the more you go from you're not on the side of production, creation, building, life. You're on the side of tearing that down. And that, if you view Israel from that perspective, Israel's a builder. It's sometimes called a startup nation. It's now a nation of entrepreneurs, of people who want to build, do things. They're innovative. And that from the perspective of Christianity, and all the secular versions of Christianity, that's a sin. And that has to be battled and warred against. And in that sense, that people view it as this is an Enlightenment versus anti-Enlightenment conflict. That is also true if one understands what the Enlightenment, the essence of what was good and new in the Enlightenment, is a commitment to science, to building wealth, to prosperity, to freedom. And again, if Israel versus the other countries in the Middle East, it stands on one side of that, and the other regimes stand on the other side. And if you're siding with those other regimes and against Israel, it's very revealing. But this is a long standing and deep intellectual battle. It's not like this is, oh, now this is happening like in the 21st century among some like the woke or something like that. That's a trivial analysis of what is actually happening, I think.